You know, for a while I've been wondering what exactly is the strongest team comp in the game. Is it a combination of best DPS, sub DPS, and support? Is it a double DPS comp, double sub DPS comp? Or is it one of those gimmicky comps that takes advantage of some weird mechanic like Jinxie jump cancel? By the way, thank you Sweats for playing the game enough to find this. You see, if we're gonna answer this question, let's first define some things. We're gonna assume all limited characters are S0 with their signature, and all 4-stars are S6 with their best in slot weapon. And when I say strongest, we're gonna go based off of clear time for holograms and in Tower of Adversity. Not the current one, just in general, because, well, the buffs make it kind of unfair, but it's really the only endgame we have currently. Not for long though, which is great, but that's how we're determining the strongest team comp. So first up, I think the third strongest team comp in Wuthering Waves currently is Camellia Hypercarry, with Sanhua, not Rocha, and Shorekeeper. Camellia's damage is just unreal. I don't get it. I see nukes for 300 to 400k from S0 Camellias, but more importantly, the combination of Sanhua both buffs her a ton and allows the most field time for her. That's why I put her over Rocha. Now, between Shorekeeper and Verena, it was kind of hard to say because Verena does have faster rotations, but Shorekeeper has better buffs. I pretty much landed on Shorekeeper after watching Yumi's speedrun of this comp. Shout out to Yumi, they're insanely good. But you can also lower Shorekeeper's field time with some skill and Concerto regen weapons, so I don't think her rotation difference compared to Verena is that crazy. Also, the only real annoying part of Tower Adversity is the middle stage, where you have the normal enemy spawn in before the boss, because that could just eat up time. However, with Camellia, not only does she have that massive nuke, she also has good AoE, so overall pretty solid comp. Moving on to the second strongest team comp in my opinion, it's gonna be Phoebe, Morphe, and Spectral Rover. So this comp is in a unique spot right now because it is incredibly strong because of the Spectral Frazzle mechanic. See, Phoebe does have solid personal damage, almost on the level of Jinxie with more field time, but Spectral Rover is practically essential to build Spectral Frazzle stacks at this point in the game. We've yet to get an actual limited Spectral Frazzle stack builder, besides Phoebe's support stance, which is not great. I'm sure most of you notice how everyone is freaking out over Spectral Rover's recent buff, and how Havoc Rover is just irrelevant now. The switch up is kind of funny. But the reason I didn't mention a healer in this comp is because Spectral Rover fills this slot already with S4, which everyone has. It's not much healing, so the comp is a little hard to play, but putting the healing set on them gets you those buffs for Phoebe. Then Morphe is there to buff Phoebe, hold Moonlit, Heron, and more importantly, provide good personal damage, because otherwise it would just be Sanhua again. That's why I put Morphe over Sanhua, because he's just an all-around better unit. Also, Phoebe's banner is coming soon, and trust me guys, she has so much value. Not just currently, but in the future as well. Word is Zanny wants her, so that's all I need to hear, but this is still not the strongest comp. That title goes to Jinxie Hypercarry. Yes, Jinxie is still, arguably, the strongest DPS in the game. However, I'm not talking about the normal, basic, casual Jinxie playstyle. In order for Jinxie, Juja, and Verena to be the strongest comp in the game, there are a couple things to take note of. Firstly, Juja needs to hold Moonlit and Heron, and utilize her jump cancel mechanic. Verena needs to hold the healing set and fallacy, and the most important part, using the Jinxie jump cancel gimmick. Now, I saw this recently, I had no idea this was even possible for the longest time until I saw a Selkie video on it. No idea who the originator to this mechanic is, but thank you wherever you are. All these factors combined allow this comp to have the fastest rotations for a DPS that is locked behind team comp rotation speed. That's also why I chose to put Verena over Shorekeeper, because although the buffs are nice, the speed at which you can rotate this comp is nuts. All these characters have short field time, so it's not like Camellia or Phoebe having to build up their damage over time in the rotations. Jinxie pops on field, launches 2 nukes, then dips, and only waits for you to finish rotating the other 2 teammates so she could do it all over again. On top of crazy high damage, she also has good AoE. I also think this comp is future-proof. I already did the comparison between Jinxie and Phoebe, so just so you know, guys, Jinxie isn't going anywhere. She will always be meta. She's just insane. Also, just to reiterate, this is not a general best team comp for casuals ranking. This is a literal best possible comp to get the fastest clears with all the gimmicky broken mechanics that certain character interactions can get. It's similar to back when Calcharo cancel tech was at its prime. It's still good, I just don't see it as much. But honestly, if Kuro Games adds some sort of speedrun, endgame, PvP type game mode, then that will just be nuts for playstyles like this, where it just utilizes like gimmicky animation cancel tech to actually achieve the real fastest clear times possible. And although that does kind of open the issue of whales and pay to win problems, I think all you have to do is just take the Honkai Impact 3rd system, put it in Wuthering Waves. It's that simple. I think that would be perfect. Just have ranking systems or brackets. But I mean, now I'm just rambling. That would pretty much wrap things up for this ranking. If you think other comps are better, or if some different mechanic I don't know about breaks other characters, then let me know. But I swear, if any of you say some dumb shit like GN Hypercarry is peak, just guys, just let him go. He's officially fallen off.